Friends, we have our next speaker with us today. Dr. Issac Mathai is here. Good evening, Dr. Mathai.
Good evening. Good evening.
Friends, let me introduce Dr. Issac Mathai to you. Dr. Issac Mathai is from a family that has a tradition of homeopathic medical practice for over 50 years. Having worked with his mother, Dr. Annamma Mathai, as a child, Dr. Mathai imbibed the knowledge, compassion, experience, and above all, the need to serve mankind. He is an internationally renowned holistic health consultant and a medically qualified homeopathic physician. He graduated from the ANSS Medical College, Kerala, India, and took his MD Homeopathy from Hahnemann Postgraduate Institute of Homeopathy, London. Following this, he took his MRCH London. He also studied Chinese pulse diagnosis and acupuncture at the WHO Institute of Traditional Chinese Medicine in Nanjing, China, and received training from the Mind-Body Medicine program at Harvard Medical School in the US. During and after his education as a homeopathic doctor, he met with several renowned doctors. He worked at the 101 Clinic in London for 10 years, which is Europe's first and largest holistic healthcare clinic. During his time in London, he realized when he taught yoga and transcendental meditation that integrating different systems of medicine gave far better results and no side effects rather than following one system of medicine, thereby envisioning a holistic center in India integrating different systems of medicine. So he decided to start the center Soukya in India, which would provide holistic medicine for people around the world, thus showcasing India as a holistic destination to the world. And as of now, Soukya is one of the biggest leading brand in holistic healthcare in India. So with these words, please welcome Dr. Issac Mathai. Dr. Mathai, I'm very pleased and honored to have a conversation with you. Very welcome, very warm welcome to this platform.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bhatia. Thank you to be a part of this event, and very happy to have a dialogue with you.
So, Dr. Mathai, my first question to you is, you have had an upbringing in homeopathy. What made you not start your homeopathic practice after you graduated from the ANSS Medical College and you instead went to London for a higher qualification?
So, okay, after I finished my graduation, before finishing the graduation, fortunately, I could work with my mother. So I worked when I was in the second year onwards, not prescribing medicine, but working with packing medicines. So after graduating, I felt that I need to work with so many other doctors. That's my advice to the young generation. Even if you are coming from a homeopathic family with the practices, you need more experience and knowledge by working with other doctors. That will expand your horizon and give a different attitude and approach towards different methodology of homeopathic practice. I will never say that any particular homeopathic practice is right or wrong. That depends on that doctor's experience and how much he is helping the mankind. So I went to unqualified homeopathy doctors in Kerala, worked with them with no pay, nothing, paying my own pocket, and worked with them to see what they are doing. I went with one of the most famous doctors like Dr. R.P. Patel. I worked in his office as a clerk, doing something else. But I could see that the kind of cases he's dealing with, and that made me to give access to him. So when I became a much older doctor, we were attending a lot of seminars together, who is at least 50 years older than me. So going forward with any work, wherever you can get knowledge, seek that knowledge. I went to my friend's father, so many places. So 1 or 2 years, I was running around in different places to learn more how to practice homeopathy in a better way or a different way. Then in my London experience, gave me a much more clarity on chronic disease management. Because my mother's practice is very acute disease management with every minute you see a patient or you have 100 or 200 patients a day. That's great. But I decided then that I should be more on concentrating because homeopathy is amazing results as, of course, in acute diseases, but chronic disease is unbelievable. So I would like to be more of a chronic disease management person, spending quality time with the patients and how to manage that. That's what, more than any homeopathy, what I learned in London is how to manage an organized, systematic international practice. That's the reason of so many of my international success.
So what led you from homeopathy? You branched out to experiencing homeopathy with different people. what led you to branching out to different methodologies other than homeopathy? You studied acupressure, you studied acupuncture, Chinese medicine, Chinese pulse diagnosis. What led you to experiencing different schools of medicines?
So before I finished my final year homeopathic exam, I conducted I studied transcendental meditation, TI, by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Then I introduced that in my college. 25 of my hostel mates joined with that program to learn transcendental meditation. After 2 months, me and my friend is only people are continuing. I am after 35 years or 40 years now. I am still practicing every day. And even if somebody asks me, what is the reason for your success in life? I would say transcendental meditation. Because that'll give you insight and that'll give you better ideas and focus. Even an insight of selecting a medicine between argent and natrium and phosphorus, that'll come through your meditation. So I would suggest all my students or any of the doctors, you want a better doctor or you want a better policeman, start transcendental meditation or any meditation. Now we teach half a dozen meditation in Soukya. So incorporating a yoga practices with homeopathy, I have seen that from the nasal sinuses to asthma, my results will be 20 to 30% more than only doing homeopathy. And you know, the Hanuman always recommended hydrotherapies and mesmerism and everything, every other methodology along with homeopathy. So my present, when I was 25 years old, the Liga Homeopathy Conference allowed me to present a paper only because of I did a paper on yogic management in homeopathic treatment in 1985. That helped me a lot of European doctors. That time yoga is just getting popular, inviting me to give lectures and teaching classes and everything. So I became, even London, I survived my study time by teaching yoga because I couldn't practice in the beginning. So the yoga helped me a lot. That made me to understand that bringing homeopathy with yoga itself is a magical impact. Then my practice in London exposed me to naturopathy. Then I practiced in America, exposed me to osteopathy and other systems. That made me to organize at the age of 27, an international conference happened to be in Bangalore, and I organized from London, which is all the different systems of medicine coming together and work for the humanity rather than fighting between systems of medicine. And majority of the Western medical doctors, as you know, is from the allopathy, practicing homeopathy, or other systems of medicine. So we have world famous people came to Bangalore in 1989 to do the international conference, which I single-handedly organized, where Dalai Lama came, everybody came. So I have seen the expansion of homeopathy and possibility of homeopathy, the bigger world, rather than isolating yourself into a small world of homeopathy, but now it is much better in India, and limiting yourself. So my personal practice is all along is therapeutic yoga and homeopathy and mind-body medicine, especially I studied that. I am incorporating acupuncture or naturopathy or Ayurveda together for a better results for the patients. That is my success. So I believe that integration medicine is the future globally, and integrating with other systems. Anyway, patients are doing it. What is the number of patients are doing allopathy and homeopathy together? They're integrating. So the homeopathy doctors' anti-allopathic attitude we should change. If they have, still they have. When I'm growing up, there is a huge anti-allopathic attitude. And in state of Kerala I'm coming from, still they have anti-Ayurveda attitude. Why should be? We have to have faith and confidence in our own system and proud about it. Then we don't worry about anybody else. And they will come behind you. That's my experience in whether it's in Bangalore, whether it's in London or America, anywhere. Even the best of those allopathy doctors will come behind you, because when you have no inferiority complex, you can have a little superiority complex actually, because you deal with the most complex cases better than allopathy in what you can do. You cannot do everything. So that confidence will give others. But to have a confidence, you need knowledge. To have a knowledge, you need experience. To get an experience, you should humble yourself rather than after finishing your graduation or MD, I know everything attitude, into no, I don't know anything. I'm still seeking and I'm a seeker. So today when I see a patient half an hour ago, and I'm still in front of the patient opening a boric and reading a medicine which I read 1,000 times, because I will get one more line maybe from that, one more insight from that. So we should be a seeker or a student for all my life, everybody's life. Because my mother, when she, before passing away 82, she read boric and other medicine book, which she might have read 10,000 times. So keep on improving your knowledge by even the reading same chapter. If you ask me, Kalkarekar, I must have read thousands of times. But still, when you read maybe one point for that particular patient will pop up. And when you do that, you will ultimately helping the patient.
Yes, very sane advice. I've seen this attitude of continuous learning in most successful homeopaths, and that's something that must be emulated by every young homeopath. Dr. Mathai, I was just 2 hours back, I was treating a patient of multiple sclerosis in France. It was an online consultation. And the patient, call it serendipity or what, the patient asked me, I'm considering going to Soukya for a holistic treatment, for Ayurvedic treatment. Should I go? I said, why not? You can sure go. You can take Ayurvedic treatment and holistic treatment there along with my homeopathic treatment. I don't have any reservations. So then the next question from that patient was, but doctor, how will I know what is working there? So that is my question to you. When you are treating a patient with multiple modalities, and each modality has its therapeutic benefits, how are you able to assess what is doing what when you are giving homeopathy and Ayurveda or massage therapy or acupuncture, multiple modalities being used simultaneously, the patient is getting benefited, no doubt about that. But when it comes to evaluation of the patient or evaluation of the modality we are using, is it important that we are able to make that evaluation? And if yes, how are you able to do that?
It is very difficult. Unless you do a specific research model with a comparative study and all sort of things, it will be impossible to say which one is working. So I will tell my own doctor, because making different systems doctors to work together is not that easy. Because everybody believes their system is superior and everything else is not. Because this is coming out of ignorance. Because they don't know anything about other systems, not even the basic. That's the same problem with allopathy doctors. They have no clue about what is homeopathy or what is Ayurveda. So they criticize like they're the masters of homeopathy, say that it's placebo, this is this, that's nonsense and all that. Same thing other doctors will do. So teaching them and remove their ego, say that it doesn't matter which system working here. Our ultimate aim, what Samuel Hahnemann said, to heal the person the best possible way. So the different tools you can use, homeopathy medicine alone can do magic. Same way Ayurvedic treatment can do it. So at the moment, our methodology is in integrating and helping patients. In the recent past, with the effect in some patients, some research funding is coming up. That will show us. We have done something in our own fund, but now it's a big organization is giving. They are given about 100 crore for Western medical research. They are giving us at least 20 crore for the integrative medicine. So some of the research will find out that, first of all, a particular multiple sclerosis or something, you take a neurological condition, and you can do a double study different way. That's the major subject. That is the only way. Otherwise, if I ask me, I say it doesn't matter whether homeopathy did the magic or Ayurveda did the magic. End result is patient is improved better than if you do one system or the other. Or I'm not necessary that every case need all the systems. A lot of cases only homeopathy and yoga is enough. A lot of cases homeopathy and naturopathy is enough. Yoga is only homeopathy is enough. A lot of cases only Ayurveda is enough. So now we have developed after 25 years of practice, which condition is which is the best way of doing it. And it is not only Soukya, we have so many homeopathy clinics. From charitable clinic, we look after 150, that's 1.5 lakhs families free of charge with homeopathy medicine. And every day 80 to 100 patients come and take free medicine from us. Same medicine I use for my international or a national wealthy patient, we use it for them. There we are doing a lot of research. Government of India has given us a research project for respiratory diseases. We've done it very well. So research and other aspect, because homeopathy is my most favorite, I do with homeopathy and homeopathy related. My philosophy about integrative medicine and future of integrative medicine, we have a global model. We do that in Soukya.
How did your experience at 101 Clinic in London help you build Soukya? Did it give you an idea of how you should build your holistic practice?
Absolutely, because I can see that patients from around the world coming over, as a medicine, we were giving only homeopathy there, but the naturopathic treatment by intestinal cleansing, you say a chronic constipation, how many times you can give opium or Nexomycia? If you do a colon hydrotherapy and do it, Nexomycia will work like magic. So that's a removal of an obstacle for cure. So you're doing a fasting, doing a liver pack, doing anything like that to help the healing process, how medicine work like magic, much faster and much effective. So that is the advantage which I have seen over there, why people from around the world is coming and paying high dollar and coming to London and the center of the city and doing this, because they got unbelievable results. But homeopathy wise, it's a single dose, single thing, and detailed study. That's what another point I want to tell you, our students or listening people. When you spend more time with the patient and more information you take from the patient, you get a better prescription. So people ask me, when you spend 2 or 4 hours, what do you get more? Sometimes you get the same idea within 5 minutes. This is the medicine I'm going to give. But over a period of time, 1 or 2 hours, we'll get a lot of insight into that case that will make us to do a better prescription. That will give better results. So that's the one major thing I studied in London. And you are a homeopathy doctor shouldn't be in a rush. We should have more patient than the patient.
Yes, true. So when you came back to India, how difficult it was for you to begin Soukya? Because it's a huge project, and I was reading about your work, earlier work, that you had a lot of difficulty in getting finances to build it. What was the journey like?
No, fortunately, I had an international practice, so I have enough. Every second month, I'm in America. I earned everything from American dollar because my mother was the cheapest doctor in the district of Wayanad with no consultation fee. My revenge to that is I should be the most expensive doctor, better than an allopathy doctor. So when I started Bangalore, my consultation fee is more than the top cardiologist, 24 rupees more. Today also I am the most expensive. It is too much I'm charging. Anyway, I said homeopathy may be cheap, but homeopathy doctor is not cheap. Okay, that's my one philosophy, because how much my mother struggled, I know that. So that is a shocking thing. Because of that, I got enough income from international patients mainly, and India also. So I had the continuous homeopathy practice for 10 years in Bangalore and in UK and Europe and America continuously. But to make a project which is about 50 crore is not that easy. The bank was not even ready to give me even 1 crore. So even I borrowed from my patients to anybody I know and with the bank also. But once I established slowly, getting the land itself, it was 4 or 5 crore. Then to establish, got another 20 crore to start with. Then you had to expand it. So it was tough in the first few years. But fortunately, because I had continued my London practice, once in 2 months I used to go there, and the American practice, patients had faith in me. So they were ready to come to Bangalore and pay that big dollar bill. That confidence I got it from my London practice. Otherwise, it's impossible to establish a place in India to bring international patients, and this is not a cheap place, it's an expensive place, even for the international people. But I want to showcase to the world what India can do the best in an honest, straightforward way, but not by cheating, no unnecessary doing investigation, not making money by giving unnecessary medicine. No. You can be very expensive and very honest, and you can earn big money. So homeopathy, I would say that the magic of minimum dose, you have to use that magic in your business sense. So like Dr. Batra was talking, he was a very successful business. I even learned a lot from him. I went and visited him. We were together in London so many occasions. I went and studied, get advice from Dr. Jugal Kishore. Wherever I can get advice and good, I searched for it, I got it, and fortunately I could use it.
So what advice you would give to young practitioners to not be a cheap doctor? How can they build a practice which is financially rewarding? Because I see a lot of young practitioners, a lot of young students feeling hesitant to charge the patient. How to overcome that hesitation, how to build their practice and their brand in such a way that they are able to get the big money.
I tell my junior doctors also join also. I said, if you are a good graduate homeopathy doctor, you're better than a MD allopathy doctor. Why I say that? By the time an MD, you are a specialist or something, your general knowledge is limited. At a good homeopathy doctor, the way you do case study, everything, your general knowledge is general knowledge about a patient, the mind, body, everything is much better. If you are patient enough to take time and do the best for the patient, and if you have a good enough homeopathic knowledge, and you have a good enough medical, earlier Dr. Batra was talking clinical knowledge, that is where we are lacking. We should have not lacking. Nowadays, BHMS students and MDs, so they're all very good, very smart and very intelligent, everything. First is they should have a confidence and they should have a patience. because patients are not going to rush. They will wait for other people's opinion. Everything. Even a smallest town in Kerala, I have doctors, friends, they're doing amazing practices. They earn better than a cardiologist in this local town or city. All the doctors, Kerala is a good example for me to show that a small village to the city, all the good homeopathy doctors earn and live, and status is better than an MD cardiologist. They are the highest earning people in a Western medicine, or a surgeon or somebody like that. If you have that confidence, patients are there, but they want to test you to see that you are capable of addressing the condition. Another advice I always tell the youngsters that don't oversell you. For example, I'll always tell, when you in Bangalore also started, in London also, if I think this case of asthma is going to 3 months to take improvement, I will not say that 1 month time you are going to improve. I'll say 6 months time it will take. Then definitely they'll see improvement with 3 months. They'll have more faith in you because your medicine is working better. Because chronic disease is not going to run away. Acute cases you have to handle very fast. So when you use, there are a certain amount of psychology of the people. And patients, India especially, international is different. Indian patients always downplay. Even if he is much better with the migraine, so no change in my migraine. So you have to analyze that, ask some more questions. And if you have a note, you can ask them that frequency, this, that, and everything. Our 5, sensation, location, modality, that's enough. You ask that, within 2 minutes, you say they are telling a lie. So make them understand that, no, you are improving, but okay, you don't need to certify me, continue the medicine. So when we have the confidence in our medicine, and confidence, as much as I would say that, the homeopathy doctor should know their limitations. Don't try and do gimmicks and claim. And one of the biggest issues with me with the homeopathy doctors are they overclaim about everything, because you tried and cured one condition. You claim that anybody from anywhere in the world, I can cure that condition, which is maybe surgical, maybe this and that. We overclaim. Why should we overclaim? What we can do very well. And some cases we cannot do it, that's fine. We don't need to feel bad about it. So stop overclaiming, matter of fact. And the other one is when patient asks questions to explain. Indian, generally not homeopathy, Indian doctors have a problem of explaining to the patient. I believe that it's a right of the patient to ask any number of questions, including knowing the name of the medicine. Why you have to make it as a secret? Like Dr. Batra was talking earlier, it should be open. Why should you make it as a secret? They are not, if they go and buy from the market, let them go and buy. They will not get the result. It's happened to my own patients in Bangalore. It don't work.
It happens to all of us.
And I sell medicine for 10 times more than the market price. I tell them that. But if you want to buy. But they went outside and purchased, no result. It is their suspicion, not me, not the medicine also. This is their problem. So if you want to buy, pay this money. Otherwise, no, it's okay. So there is one side is the knowledge and your medical knowledge and your practice. Other side is the business aspect. So thankfully, fortunately, I'm very good at that. And I had a little bit of inferiority complex when I was studying being a homeopathy doctor or a homeopathic student, inferiority complex in 80s, because everybody look you down. Now it's different. And I converted that inferiority complex into a superiority complex. So that worked very well.
That's true. Now, another question that comes from students often is that a lot of students want to practice internationally. You have been practicing in UK and US since so long. What advice and guidance you can offer to young students if they want to branch out and practice in other countries also? What are the laws? What are the rules and regulations? What are the qualifications required? And what is it they can do to bring an international client here?
Okay, so in America, for example, you can call as a homeopath without calling yourself as a doctor and practice homeopathy, because homeopathy is not a prescription scheduled that medicine. Okay, that's easy. But if you want to call yourself as a doctor and do it, either you should have an MD qualification or you can have a naturopathy doctor, ND qualification. If you have a naturopathy doctor, that several people have done that. There are 2 or 3 naturopathic colleges are there. After that, only thing is in America, you can practice, there is a Western MD or an ND, naturopathy doctor of naturopathy. Only certain states only you can practice. So if you focus on that state, and Canada is much more easier. As a naturopathy doctor, you can practice homeopathy. And a lot of naturopathy doctors in America, professionally, they are trained in homeopathy, so they can practice homeopathy. So if you want to title doctor and do it, be a naturopathy doctor. If you are a visiting doctor, but you are not calling as a official doctor there and prescriptions and everything like that, you are only consulting, then it is you are under the legal umbrella of you are only consulting as a visiting doctor. You are not sitting and opening an office. But even if I know a lot of people, they are not even qualified as a homeopathic doctor from India, but they did some studies from UK. They are with no medical qualification. They are having a roaring practice in different parts of USA, I know. And that's not illegal because of, fortunately, homeopathic medicines are not illegal by practice by a lay person. As it is out over-the-counter medicine, anybody can go buy it, and somebody giving a health practitioner giving it, that's perfectly fine. UK has a different methodology where if you are registered as a society of homeopaths and few areas, then you can practice as a, again, you can call it as a doctor, but you don't have a right as a doctor to give certificate and all that, but you can practice as a homeopathic person much more easier. So these are the two English speaking, Canada is or Australia is also there. So there are possibilities in doing all the places if you go and settle and everything. But then again, to get a private practice in UK is very difficult because 99% of the people or 100% of the people get free treatment and free everything from the national health system. So somebody pay from out of pocket and going to a doctor, only very wealthy people and or the doctor of that much of reputation only, it's possible. But I am trying so many ways by working with the College of Medicine in UK and the Royal London Homeopathy Hospital to make our Indian homeopathy doctors also to be sort of qualified by the member of Faculty of Homeopathy or something. I worked a lot with the Dr. Peter Fisher on that. It almost, we have reached a certain stage. In that time, unfortunately, he passed away. Even recently also met with the president of the Faculty of Homeopathy. They are very keen. Now they are more interested than us to have that link for the Indian homeopathy doctors also to faculty. That way, there's another way of College of Medicine, which I'm involved, and Prince Charles is a patron of that. We are making Indian qualified homeopathy doctors also part of the member of, at the moment, College of Medicine and in the future, Royal College of Medicine. That way, they'll get a more legitimacy, even with all the opposition about homeopathy in UK and different places. There's a lot of ways to do it. So I'm working very closely. Last month, I was there, and a lot of it, that is mainly I'm looking at the future of, not to get us recognition. We don't need any recognition anymore. Indian homeopaths are the best in the world, and they are doing great work. But we can help them also in this field, making homeopathy more popular and more effective. Because I would say the way India is grown in homeopathy in every level is unparalleled and incomparable. And we are the capital of homeopathy in the world now.
Dr. Mathai, my last question to you today would be, you just said that you have got a very good business sense. So as a parting advice, what advice you can give to the young students? What business advice you would like to give to the young students?
Simply, I will say that don't sell you cheap. And even if you're a small town, your rates of consultation should be equal to a MD or a specialist. People may come and complain in the beginning. By the end of the day, no patient is coming to you because you are cheap. Nobody will come. It is because you are good. And if you think you are good, don't worry, they will come.
Yes.
Second is, make money on your medicine. Why do you want to sell it cheap? If you are giving, you will get heart attack when you hear how much I charge for some of the medicine. I'm telling them that honestly, say that it may cost you very little, but this knowledge about what going to give you is what you're paying for, not like consultation. Continuously when you do all these things. Somebody paid me for the arsenic of 3x in New York City. They purchased $5 for one bottle. That did magic for them. They end up paying me 25 lakhs coming to Soukya and staying there for 2 weeks. So yes, that is that's not a trick. So if you're an independent practitioner, the same advice I give to my Kerala doctors, don't be shy about charging a consultation fee because that's the value of your time. Second is, fortunately, homeopathic doctors have a double income than allopathy doctor. So medicines also, but your location, if I'm going back to my hometown, I won't be able to do 1/100th of the fees I charge. No way, because their economic situation is different. So we sit in Bangalore and big cities is much more easier. But even in a small town, because the cardiologist is also charging very little, maybe 300 rupees, 400 rupees. Then also you cannot immediately shock the people by charging big amount. Start small and go by step. And when the demand comes, a 20% walkaway is fine. You will laugh when I tell you that by charging 10 rupees extra, I made my good friend in Kerala to buy a Mercedes Benz. 10 rupees extra from one patient. That's enough to get a Mercedes.
That's enough if you have enough patience.
I proved to him and he brought it. brought it before a cardiologist, neurologist, anybody buying a Mercedes-Benz. That's about 10 years ago. So homeopathy doctor have that confidence and faith, and you don't cheat anybody, you don't give unnecessary medicine, you don't do anything, but don't be cheap, because they are paying for your knowledge and your experience and your quality of time, and genuinely you are helping people with no side effects and the best way possible. And especially chronic diseases which Western or other medicine cannot do anything. So that's our skill and our ability. So let them pay for the ability, but you are otherwise what I'm doing is I'm charging from big rich people, and I'm 10 times more patients I'm giving free every day. That's 26 years we are doing it. So help the poor by doing free clinic or free charity or whatever it is. But your professionals' time, let them respect you. But as agree again, a small town and a small village is not that easy, but still compared with other allopathy doctors, you'll be better off.
That's excellent advice, Dr. Mathai. I'm sure young students will gain a lot from your advice today. Thank you so much for your valuable time. And it has been a pleasure talking to you. I look forward to having a longer conversation with you some other time. Thank you so much for this chit chat.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatia, and thank you, Dr. Meghna, for organizing all this. Thanking Dr. Rajan Shankaran also for initiating all this process. So, and thank you for all the listeners, and I wish them all best. And also, anybody need any further questions or something, please send an email to me. I'll definitely answer.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you so much, sir. This is, yes, on behalf of Dr. Sankaran and the Institute, we really thank you, sir.
Thank you.